Hi there, my name is Sheila Beck and the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share and subscribe and ring that little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. And 3 things happened today that told me I have to make a video about the comic book industry. I guess when things come along in threes, it's the universe telling you it's time to talk about something. The comic book industry, as we all know, is not doing very good. When I talk about the comic book industry, I mean the monthly direct market, which has all but imploded because the current global health situation caused the single distributor for comic books to fail. Now, why was there a single distributor for comic books? Because nobody else wanted to do it. Yeah, I think it was called a benign monopoly. Just like nobody else really wanted to do it. It's a falling industry. But its fall has been accelerated quite massively by the insanity of people within it, which is what we're going to be examining here today. I've got 3 delicious things for you to peruse. 3 delicious things for you to peruse, which all ends up to the same, insane conclusion. But before we get there, can I ask you guys, can you hit the subscribe button? I am unbelievably happy and grateful for every person who hits the subscribe button. I genuinely am. I give stuff away each week on this channel to show you my appreciation. This week I'm giving away something I'm just going to say something I really like, but I really like all the things I give away because it's all my stuff. These are DVDs I bought, which I'm now I replaced with Blu-ray, so I just have them sitting around. But I love everything. So this thing, great movie, true romance. Quentin Tarantino's first script he sold. Tony Scott directed. It's a fabulous gestalt entity of these 2 very interesting creative voices. All you need to do to win it is subscribe to the channel, then leave the hashtag Elvis, and we'll do the prize draw on Sunday. When's that? 10th? I'm gonna say May 10th. Maybe May 10th when I'm on the TARDIS Zone, where we'll be reviewing a Doctor Who episode from 2005, The Doctor Dances. The Empty Child. Very good story. Anyway, so let's talk about the comic book industry. So the first thing I saw, someone actually put this on a Facebook feed, was this tweet by Ron Mars. Ron Mars is a comic book a comic book writer. So let's have a see what he had to say for himself. So let's just see how his Twitter thing comes up. Writer of things music. Okay, fine. Nothing insane there. Okay, he's got a blue check mark, which isn't a good thing in my mind. But there's no insane thing on his Twitter profile. It just says writer of things, mostly comics, not resist and fight the power. And yeah, brother, and none of that. Yeah, okay, fine. Ron, you've done well so far. Now let's read your tweet. This is from this morning at 5:26. Blimey. I'm getting on this quick. This is only a few hours old. Ron Mars saying on this article, "Oh man, this is going to upset all the right people. Well done." So, what is this that's going to upset all the right people? Is it, is it an introduction of a program to stop totalitarian governments, racist totalitarian governments throughout the world? No. It's nothing quite like that. It's instead Disney Plus updates, putting out a tweet saying, from 10 hours goes, at # Ironheart series in development at #Disney Plus. Plan to start shooting in 2021. The original series followed Riri Williams, a 15-year-old genius who builds her own suit based on Iron Man's. So essentially, this was the beginning, or I think this was the major takeover of what was called SJW Marvel, or All New, All Different Marvel, where they took all the Marvel characters and made them all into anything other than white men. White men were a bad thing. Thor became a white lady. Iron Man became a girl. Brian Michael Bendis, he's got this real thing about taking white male characters and turning them into dark-skinned young girls. I know he's got a couple of daughters who are black, but does everything have to be them? Okay, but this is what he did. So Ron Mars is insane. Ron Mars is completely insane, and he is the reason the industry is imploded in 4 days. He is the reason. Because let me read this tweet again. Oh man, this is going to upset all the right people. Well done. All the right people in this case are paying customers, people who buy your product. Ron thinks he's in some kind of cultural battle for survival where white supremacists or the racists that have taken over the world, and he's fighting the power by taking away anything white and male. That's how he fights the patriarchy, and he loves it. So what he isn't realizing is he's insane. That's completely insane, and that is not happening at all. All you're doing is working out ways of repelling people who may buy your product. Repelling people who may buy your products. So what happens when you repel people who may buy your products over over 2 or 3 years? Then your products become virtually financially untenable. And if you stop cash flow for even for 1 week, even your businesses will implode. How do we know this? Because that is what happened. Because you are busy repelling, absolutely repelling your audience rather than trying to bring them in. So the second thing I saw was it's interesting on Bleeding Cool. Bleeding Cool, Rich Johnson Bleeding Cool, he is in full blown denial that there is any problems whatsoever with the comic book industry, and he has been for a while. He's like, and he's incensed. He's insanely incensed that anybody would choose to use anything other than Diamond distribution, even though they're actually not distributing comics right now. So if you're a publisher or a comic book store that can sell your comic books, and you choose to use Diamond Distributor, then you're a publisher and comic book store who can't sell comic books. So if you want to be able to sell comic books, then having a distributor is quite a good thing. But because of this was a single point of failure. That's what your boy Zach calls it. Single point of failure. I don't want to slavishly copy him. And the last thing on this video is going to be we're going to watch together this insane video by Marvel Entertainment. Just freaking insane. And I had to stop watching because I saw it on your boy Zach's channel. And he was just echoing everything that was in my head, and so whatever he said just got ingrained into me as it was my thoughts. So I had to stop watching it. So you're going to get my own unfiltered commentary now. So the next thing that we see, which unfortunately I have to go to Bleeding Cool to see. Bleeding Cool is the propaganda. Rich Johnson and Bleeding Cool is the Goebbels of the insane blue checkmark Twitterati. He is the one leading the propaganda campaigns that he's really into. So he was like, well, what problem is there with the comic book industry? We're having the best year ever, and that's what they've been saying for years and years and years. And the way they come to those conclusions by disingenuously fudging the figures. They put in the Indiegogo campaigns into the overall sales of comics, which they said weren't real comics. They put in manga sales, which I think is a really distinctly different beast. They put in sales to libraries. Now, the libraries is the one they really pad their numbers in with, because you don't have to appeal to anybody who reads comics. You've got to appeal to librarians who are predominantly as insane as the blue checkmark people making the comics, and they're like, "Ooh, Riri Williams! Whoa, we gotta get some of that in, yeah." And so they sell them. And the final way they fudge the numbers is when a comic book store orders 2 or something, they send them 200 or so. And then I'm not sure how it works. How do the comic stores have to pay for them? Like, why do they have to pay for product they didn't order? But they overprint and overship. So. That's it. So so they've been saying the comic book industry has been in fantastic shape, like unbelievably great shape. And Warren Ellis, I think one of the most successful writers in the industry, he put something out on his newsletter a day or so ago, and it says, have a little read of it together. It says, well, I'm having to replan pretty much my next 2 years of my life. I was building my very own imprint at a comics publisher, but the lockdown and the great effery of trusting your exclusive distribution to comic book stores and bookstores to a single entity, who immediately upon lockdown announced that they weren't paying anybody, pretty much put pay to that and the serial print comic business. Now, this is something that Rich Johnson has been in absolute denial about for since it certainly happened. It was like, why would anybody not use Diamond? That's crazy. And article after article saying that DC Comics, who set up another distributor to use, are pure evil because they use it not using Diamond. So, and he's been denying, RP Sotheby has been denying exactly this. But what happens when this is a major story, this is a major creator, and he puts something out that goes completely counter to the narrative that he's so addicted to. So he goes on a little bit. He says, "I'm helping out another publisher partner with a new initiative we're calling Project Geneva. We have contracts exchanged, but my hope for happy few years alternating TV work and releasing streams of new comics material into world is not to be." Yeah, exactly. The comic book I mean, listen. The only way you could really do it is if you. I think he could probably do it with crowdfunding, but that's a completely different model of business, which is totally different and a lot more work. Quite frankly, I mean, you make a lot more money. I mean, if you're successful, he could probably make a lot more money with it. But it's a lot more work. So I don't think he's so much in it. So for him, he basically says that this was really his last shot on at making comics. So. As comics is imploding, the same millisecond that comics imploded, Marvel Entertainment showed you why comics are imploding, because they put out this insane comic which is missing. They haven't released it. I really want to read it which again, much like Ron Mars was saying, it was designed to repel readers rather than to encourage them, which is a bit of a strange thing to do for a publisher. But okay, fine, that's what they do. So what do they do? What are they doing now to bring in new readers? They're appealing to people who have some severe head trauma. That's what they're appealing to people who have experienced some kind of brain tumor or head trauma, and have made them into utter morons, or maybe just 2 or 3 year olds. That sounds like that, because this video was put out the other day, and it's just wonderful. It's just wonderful, and we're going to watch it together. This is Marvel Entertainment. How to read comics the Marvel way. How to read. They're doing a whole video on how to read comics. So we're going to watch this together, and I assume hilarity will ensue. Let me just move this up a little bit. Doink. Okay. Well, I have no idea who you are, but she's very smiley, and she's going to talk to you like you're a moron, like you're a small child and a moron. And it's a bit of a strange choice of what to do. But okay, let's just press play and see what she's got to say for herself.
We all love Marvel movies, television, and games, but some people, I'm not naming names, Kyle, find comic books.
Okay. How old do you think this woman is? She looks to me to be in her 30s, late to her 30s. So why does she think it's funny to have this Disney Channel kind of feel? And pretend that I just don't understand. I don't understand. Why does she think it's funny? And who is this for? Who would find this engaging? I don't understand. I don't understand what they're trying to do, other than say we don't care if nobody buys our product. So let's keep going now.
But intimidating. There are just so many.
Okay, no. No one finds comics intimidating. This is the reality. My wife, I can never get my wife to read any of my comics, or my kid, because they say they just can't work out which way to read them. Where the pattern, it's essentially the same as the rest of English. You just across down, like how you read anything else. But okay, here's the thing: if it's something that you can't work out, you're not going to work it out. I've tried to explain it to my wife many times. No, and it seems to be the simplest thing in the world. So I just think it's a cognitive thing. If you can't work it out, you're not going to work it out. But they're going to want to explain it. So again, who is this for? Why do they think people who stress about reading comics and aren't sure about reading it are going to watch this video and go, oh, that's okay then. Oh, well, that makes all the difference. Let me go and buy some comic books. No, who is this for? This is for them to feel good about themselves. Okay, let's carry on. Where we are. We're 8 seconds in. This is not good. 8 seconds is not far.
Comics over 80 years of Marvel history, and where do you even start? Great.
Okay, looking for a jumping in point. No problem. Easy to do. You have jumping in points. You make graphic novel jumping in points. That's not hard. Okay.
Question. I've got the terms, the tips, and I'm going to make you sound like a comics pro. This
is basically if you want to be a fake geek or a fake geek girl, I think is more likely. This is your cheat sheet on how to sound like one without actually having to know or read anything about comics. So then we can make comics designed for you, Miss Fake Geek Girl, and that you're not going to buy, so we feel good about ourselves. Okay, I think that's basically how this thing is panning out.
This is how to read comics, and we're starting with the basics.
How to read comics? Again, you got to ask how to read comics. You're probably not into comics, and you're probably not going to be into comics. Yeah, like Jesus, like could you imagine you went to a movie and they go, okay, this is what you do. Movies are great. You have to sit in this little seat, this inky wicky little seat. You sit in your little seat and you look forward at the big screen in front of you, and then you'll see moving pictures. Ooh, and those moving pictures are going to form stories, and people will talk to each other. Okay, so I don't think that will work. I don't think that will work for cinema.
The basics. Words. Some of this stuff may seem...
Okay, she's going to explain to us what words... Okay, I'm intrigued. Please tell me more.
Pretty obvious, like, hey, they're words, I read them in the end, but...
Yes, it does seem pretty obvious, hey, they're words, I read them, but... I can't wait to hear what the but is.
I'm going to show you how text in comic books does a lot more than that, so...
What? She's going to show me how text in comic books does more than... give you words. Are you going to say the words for... Okay, listen, I'm intrigued to know what on earth you're going to tell me that I don't already know, or anybody without a head injury doesn't already know.
Let's do it. The words on the page are written by the writer, but then drawn by a person called the letterer. They create the artistic styling of the words, or what we call lettering. Lettering is a lot more expressive than just some old basic font. Sorry, Helvetica, if that is your real name.
What? Okay, so they're saying... Oh, yeah! I'm trying to get my head around this, okay? They're saying that comic books have pictures on, and there are words on top of the pictures, and the words convey the story, and the way you write the words sometimes gives you different emphasis on the storytelling choices. Is that what you're telling me? Really? Okay, all you have to do is look at a comic book. That's all you got to do to work that out. That's the only oh my gosh, this is not written. This is not printed in Times New Roman. I don't know what to do. Okay.
Characters like Thor even have their own special Asgardian style lettering. Hello, mortal.
Yes, a different character. Okay, what? We got to keep going. I got to know what more she's going to say.
Lettering, in addition to giving us something to read, can also tell us how a character feels or what they sound like. Today, I feel worthy. But where do the words go?
What? Okay, she's saying the words now have some connection to the characters saying the word. Oh my God! Okay, how are you doing this? How is this a person's job? Oh my God! Okay.
Usually in panels. The panel is this box containing all of the action and sound from a moment in time. But we can't just have words floating around and
So wait. Okay. Wait. How do I know how to watch this video? If I don't know any of this, how do I know how to watch this video? I'm confused. Where do words go? Are they inside the comic? I don't know. So if you're that stupid, if you're that insanely stupid, how do you know to watch this video? How do you have that skill set?
Can we? Absolutely not. Well, usually. The first way we contain words is caption boxes. These little boxes fill in important context to the scene. It might tell us if we're on another planet or in an alternate universe. It might let us know that we're in the past.
Well, okay, so can I make a suggestion? You've never seen comics before, right? And you see there's a little box with the word past in it. And then you see dinosaurs and everything. Who doesn't know what's going on? Who needs to explain to them? Oh, thank God we're a minute and a half into this. Okay, keep going.
The present or the future. And sometimes the caption box is the voice of the editor. They're with helpful information or to cite a comic where something important happened previously.
You know what it says? Editor. They actually say, see issue 37. Editor. You know, it says that. Okay, well, look, this box is opening up. Maybe we're going to get, some incredible insight.
Oh, look, it's editor Devin Lewis. Hi, Devin.
Hey, Lorraine.
Hi, I can't see you, and this is all fake, but I'm going to pretend, because this is an idiotic thing for children who interested anyway, and I don't know why any of us is doing this.
1218. Reality in the Marvel Universe.
Aw, thanks, Devin. Generally, think of captions as the hot spot for narration.
Hut, 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 hut.
What? Okay, now they're explaining the word hot with a visual. Again, this is for young children who aren't interested in comics. Okay, which is like, I understand. Like, what does this Disney Channel shit have to do with bloody comic books?
But our characters also like to talk, and that's where word balloons come into play. Characters' dialogue appears inside each word balloon, with the tail facing the character speaking. Oh.
Again, this is why you need to shop for Comicsgate Comics. Everyone, that I would recommend, if you like comic books, don't shop at a publisher that has to explain what a word balloon is and how, and also the text in those word balloons should be not in that font. It should be in a handwritten font. Bloody, I mean, like, you're trying to explain how it works. Wrong. And now you're explaining that the little tail that comes out the balloon and connects to, pointing at the mouth of someone means that person. Again, if you can't work this out, you're not allowed to read comics. Okay, that's my new rule. If you can't work any of this out, you are not allowed to read comics.
Tail. The way it's drawn can also tell us about the character's volume. When we talk very quietly, the outline becomes dashed to let us know it's a whisper balloon.
Okay, so that's that's been part of their visual cultures for legitimately 60 years. Yeah, that's older than me. Who doesn't?
Or becomes very spiky to let us know it's a scream balloon. But sometimes we just.
Again. I can understand if you're a layperson, if you don't know how comics work, how to make comics, that you won't notice it. But it all works subliminally, and you get the subliminal feeling that these things. But like, again, explaining this, I can't believe that this is this woman's job. That they actually put. I think they filmed this in front of a green screen. Yeah, I can see some fringe. They put work into this. How did this happen?
Need to hear our characters' thoughts, so we use thought balloons. Thought balloons are distinguished from word balloons by this chain of diminishing size circles instead of a tail. These let us know only the reader and the character are privy to what's in their head. Unless there's a pesky psychic sneaking around. By now you may be...
Okay, so honestly, if this was a thought balloon for this woman's head, it would be empty. And also, I think they kind of phased out using thought balloons. Haven't seen them in comics for 30 years, but I don't know. 2 minutes 43 seconds. God, it's nearly over. Thank God.
Asking yourself, don't these words ever just get to be free? Well, yeah, they do. Some sounds are too big to be contained. These are sound effects.
Sound effects. Okay. Yes. Again. You're saying that comic books is a visual medium, and the visualization of that medium affects every aspect of it, including the text. Yes. Okay. Well, thank you very much. That's enlightened my life lots and lots.
But explode onto the page in big, beautiful word form. Some of my favorite iconic sounds include Spider-Man's thwip and Wolverine's snicked.
I'm going to take a guess here. That they're not really her favorite sound effects. I'm going to take another guess here that she doesn't really like sound effects. I'm going to take a third guess that she doesn't read comics, and I'm going to take a fourth guess that if you like comics and you mention thwip or snick to her, you have little to no chance of getting into bed with her. That would be my my 5 theories that I'm postulating right now. She doesn't really care about any of this stuff, and she thinks it's stupid. That's really the only explanation. She thinks all comics is stupid, so she doesn't see this as being any more stupid than any other part of comics. That's a great thing for a major publisher, to feel that your product is completely disposable.
Kaboom! Flarp! Oh, that's fun. A ton of work goes into bringing all of those words to a comic book page. That was just our first lesson on how to read comics, but there is a whole lot more we're going to dive into.
Oh, great. This is a series. I really didn't realize this is going to be a series. Again, have you never seen the Batman TV series from the 60s? Everybody's seen the Batman TV from the series. We all worked out what happened when Batman went, hit the Joker and it went kaboom. Biff. We know that. We know that. In fact, every normie article about comics ever always starts with the words Biff, Bam, Pow. Everybody knows what freaking sound effects are.
So, what part of comics would you like me to explain next? Art layout, continuity, the multiverse?
How you are in business. How Marvel Comics hasn't imploded. How Marvel Comics hasn't gone out behind a bike shed, put a gun to its head, and blown its brains out of the sheer shame of how it's degenerated, throughout time. Could you, poor Stan Lee? Oh, thank God he's dead. He doesn't have to see this. Oh.
Us with the hashtag Earth's Mightiest Show. Plus, if you want to know even more about this topic, I highly recommend checking out How to Read Comics the Marvel Way, #1, which...
Jesus. Okay, there's a concept in Judaism called Yeridot Dora, called each generation is weaker than the one previous to it. Yeah. I think we just proved the reality of that of that idea. That, when I was a kid, there was a book called How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way. Brilliant book. This is how to read comics the Marvel. I can't. It's actually
is a charming spider.
And I have to tell you, that's the most coherent thought I could actually push out about this.
Man and Mysterio story that breaks down how to read comics along the way. It's really, really delightful. And that's it. I'll see you next time. I'm Lorraine from Marvel, your universe.
Hello, Lorraine from Marvel, my universe. What are they thinking? What are they thinking? This is what they're putting their time and trouble in. What are they thinking? Yeah, again, and that's really the question I have for so many people. What are they thinking? Yeah, it's beyond me. Could you imagine another industry that has this little self-respect? Can you? I mean, this is a major publisher in that industry, like one of the major publishers in the industry. Can you imagine? Think of the action figure industry, the toy industry. They look, this stuff is crap. Nobody needs it. Nobody wants it. But hey, let's look how action figures work. Here, this is how you move the hands. And you can move a hand up and down, up. Could you? I mean, I want you to picture this for any other industry you could possibly imagine. But don't do that, because you're gonna just go and put a gun in your mouth, because this is the world we live in. This is where they've driven us to. And again, this is why the mainstream comic book industry, despite their relentless lying, telling you it's been the greatest year ever, they folded in 4 days. This is exactly why, because people making comics don't give a crap about comics and think you're stupid because you do love comics. My name is Sheila Beckin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.